So starting your career in real estate comes with many different advantages. In this video, I'm going to go over a complete step-by-step guide on how to get your real estate license in Mississippi. And at the end of the video, we're going to even dive into how to pick the right brokerage so you can start on the right path and have a better chance of success as a real estate agent. So let's dive right into the video. There are so many advantages to starting a career in real estate. You might want more flexibility. You might want more financial freedom. You might want to just get rid of your 9-to-5 job that you really don't like going to every day and start something new. Whatever your reason is, real estate can be a great career to get into, and it can be a great business to start for entrepreneurs. So in this video, I aim to give you a complete step-by-step guide on how to get started and how to get your real estate license in Mississippi. So let's jump into the basic steps to start with, and then we'll dive into the details of those steps later on in the video. Here are some of the requirements how to become a real estate agent in Mississippi. You have to be 18 years old or older. You must complete 60 hours of Mississippi approved pre-licensed education classes. You must pass the final exam with at least a 70% score or higher. Then you have to find a broker and attach an affidavit of the sponsoring broker to appear in the Mississippi real estate exam. Then it's time to apply for your real estate license. Then you go to your exam, take the test, and you must pass with a 70% score or higher. Then you get a temporary license. Then you have to complete another 30 hours of post-license education, and then you apply for your permanent real estate license. So let's dive into these details a little bit more. So first things first, you must choose your school and sign up for classes before you can start listing $1 million homes and get out into the field and start making things happen. So I suggest checking out Real Estate Express. They actually have a package where they combine these 60 hours of pre-license courses and then the 30 hours of post-licensing education that's required for this state. So I highly suggest you check them out. We have a link in the description below with some deals on Real Estate Express. That's an affiliate link, so be sure to check that out and see if they have any deals at this current time. So keep in mind, when you take the practice exam, you're gonna have to get a 70% score or higher to be able to continue on and be able to take your official real estate test to get your temporary license. Now, once you do this and you do pass your exam, you're gonna have about 12 months to complete your extra 30 hours of post-license education to apply for your official permanent real estate license. So you might be asking, what will you actually learn in your real estate classes? So when I started out and I first sat down for my first real estate class, I didn't know what to expect. And I learned so many new things and so many different concepts, and I actually had some experience in finance. So if you're brand new to the real estate field and you don't know much about real estate, you're gonna learn a lot in real estate classes. Here are some things that you're gonna learn when you go through these courses. You're gonna learn real estate math, land use laws and regulations, fair housing laws, real estate financing, contracts, transfer of title, brokerage relationships, disclosures, property analysis, so basically how to analyze and give a customer a home value report or a CMA, rules of the Mississippi Real Estate Commission, license law, ethics, and agency laws. Next thing you're gonna wanna do after you complete your real estate classes is schedule your exam. Now, just remember that this test is not an open book test. You're gonna have to go there and basically do the test on a computer without any notes, any cheat sheets, or any textbooks to help you get through this. The only thing that you can bring is a non-scientific calculator. So it's very straightforward and very basic, so it's important that you study and give yourself the best chance to pass this exam. You might be asking, what is the best way to study for the exam to give yourself the highest chance of success? Well, first and foremost, you want to take studying seriously. There's a lot of information in this, and there's a lot of stuff to retain. So sitting down every night for a couple hours and just reading through the facts will help you a lot, and it will give you a very good chance of succeeding at this. But if you want a better chance and you just don't like textbooks, you might want to check out Prep Agent. Back when I took my exam, this was a really helpful tool that helped me pass the exam. Now, basically what Prep Agent is, They take all the information out of those textbooks and they put it into a test-like simulation. It's very similar to what you're actually going to see at the actual testing center. And then you can practice that test over and over again. And when you answer something wrong, it's going to tell you why you answered it wrong. And then it will also tell you the right answer and why that answer is correct. So doing it this way can really put the information in your head and help you retain it. And it really gives you a great chance of success and passing your test the first time around. In fact, Prep Agent is so confident in their tool that they created that they'll actually give you a money back guarantee right now. So if you actually use their tool, take the test and fail, they'll give you your money back. So it's almost risk-free as of now. Of course, this policy can always change, so make sure you check with them before you buy the product. But I had some really good success with it, and I highly recommend it. So there's an affiliate link down in the description below if you want to check that out. Next, let's talk about getting your background check. So in Mississippi, you're required by law to get a background check before you can actually apply for your real estate license. Now, the main things they're looking for is any felonies or a criminal record that would prevent you from getting your real estate license. So if you do have these things on your record, you might want to contact the state and see if there's any exceptions that they're willing to give you at this time. You might have to go in front of a board and see what they have to say and if they're willing to make an exception and let you get licensed. As of now, it's taken about 30 days to get this background check completed, so make sure you do this ahead of time. Once you get your studying out of the way and you feel very confident to take the exam, it's time to schedule, and here's some things you're gonna have to know and some things to bring to the testing center on test day. The last thing we want is for you to be all excited, ready to go in and pass your test, and then only to be turned around at the door because you didn't bring the right things. So you're gonna need to bring 2 forms of identification and a basic non-scientific calculator for the math portion of this exam. So here are some forms of identification that you can bring that they'll accept. You could bring a driver's license, you could bring a US Social Security card, you could bring your passport, you could bring a debit card with signature, you could bring a credit card with signature, you could bring a green card. Those are the basic things that you could bring to the testing center, and those are the forms of identification that they're currently accepting. You might be asking, how long do you actually have to complete this exam? And that's a great question. Currently, the exam consists of 2 portions. You have a general portion and a state portion. The general portion is about 150 minutes long, and the state portion is about 90 minutes. The total time you have to complete this exam is 240 minutes. And the national portion of the exam has about 80 questions, and the state portion has about 40 questions. So in total, there's 120 questions, and you have 4 hours to answer these questions. So the important thing is, take your time. You have plenty of time. Most people will actually finish early, and it's important that you take your time and reread the questions over and over again to make sure that you give yourself the best opportunity to submit the right answer. Some of the questions are a little tricky and they might be confusing if you don't read them a couple times and give yourself a chance to digest them and submit the right answer. Pass or fail, how long does it actually take to get the results? Well, the good news is as soon as you walk out of the testing center that day, you're gonna get the results. So it might be nerve-wracking and you probably wanna find out if you're gonna be able to get your license or if you're gonna have to reschedule the exam. So as soon as you get out of there, you're gonna know if you passed or failed. Now the good news is if you do fail the exam, you can actually retake that exam within 2 months' time. So it's important that you study hard, but if you do fail, you can always retake your exam. Now there is a fee, I believe it's about $75 to go ahead and retake that exam. So it's gonna cost you money, but it's not the end of the world. And if you really wanna do this, then I would highly suggest that you go back in there and give it your best shot. And you might be wondering, how long does it actually take for you to get your Mississippi real estate license? Well, there's a lot of steps in this process. So I would estimate anywhere between 3 and 6 months to get your license. You're gonna have to do the background check, you're gonna have to complete your 60 hours of classwork, you're gonna have to find a sponsoring broker. There's a lot of things you have to do. And then you have to actually pass the real estate exam and then take your time to study to ensure that you actually do pass. So I would allocate about 3 to 6 months to get this process done. And if you move really fast, you might be able to do it sooner. If you have other things going on and you're balancing a lot of different things like a full-time job and you have other obligations, then it might take you longer. So keep in mind, everybody works at a different pace. And as long as you're working towards this goal every day, you'll eventually get it done. You might be wondering, how much does it actually cost to get your Mississippi real estate license? So let's go into a quick breakdown. Just remember that these costs are subject to change anytime. This is the current prices that we found, but they can go up and they can go down. So let's dive into it. On average, it's going to cost between $600 and $700 to get your real estate license in Mississippi. So here are some of the costs associated. We estimate about $50 for the fingerprint fee, between $24 and $59 for the background check, $75 for the Mississippi Sales Associate exam, $120 for the license application fee, and then between $300 and $400 for any pre-licensed courses and post-licensed courses. Now again, feel free to check out the affiliate link below for Real Estate Express. They do a really good job with their real estate courses, and they do have a package right now, which is the pre-licensed courses and then the required post-licensed courses all in one bundle. So make sure to check that out and see what prices they have going right now for those courses. The best part about it is you can actually complete these courses online right now, right through Real Estate Express, so you're able to do it at your own pace and your own speed. But not least, I want to talk about choosing the right brokerage. So as an agent, it's super important to pick the right brokerage, especially when you're brand new and you're just starting out. So I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to interview brokers. That way you pick the right one and get your career going on the right path right away. So the first thing is you want to focus on training. As a new agent, training is everything. Some agents focus on commission splits, and that ultimately ends them in a place where they don't get the right training, they feel lost, they feel confused, and at the end of the day, a lot of them fail and they end up back in a 9-to-5 job that they really don't like. So I highly suggest you ask specific questions about training. What kind of mentorship program do they have in place? Is it a structured program, or are they basically just saying, hey, I'm going to get you in contact with an experienced agent and you can reach out to them anytime you want? That's much different than a structured course that they're going to put you through every single week. So if you need more guidance and more handholding, you want to make sure that that brokerage that you're partnering with has that there for you. So the very first thing is training. That's the most important thing, and you really want to drill down during your interview with brokers and see what training they offer, because that's going to be the make or break factor in your career as a brand new agent. Next, you want to talk about splits. As I mentioned before, this is not the most important thing, but as an entrepreneur and a business person, you want to make sure you know what the splits are. That way you can calculate it, and once your career grows and you become successful, you want to make sure that you can actually grow into the brokerage that you're at and the splits are still profitable. So make sure you ask these questions, but they shouldn't be the most important thing. Next, let's talk about the ongoing monthly fees. So some brokerages actually have an ongoing monthly fee, kind of like you have at a gym, so like a gym membership, and they charge you every month to be a part of that brokerage. Just remember, as a new agent, if you only have a certain amount of money put aside to make this career work, a brokerage with high monthly fees are going to eat into that budget much quicker than a brokerage that doesn't have monthly fees. Now, with that being said, I wouldn't write off brokerages that have monthly fees. Just be aware that it's going to dig into your savings and the money you have saved to start this new business. Last but not least is the commission cap. So you want to make sure that you ask questions about the commission cap. Basically what this means is they're going to stop taking a percentage once you hit that cap, and they might go to a flat fee. Again, this is not the most important thing, but as an entrepreneur, you want to ask these questions and get used to asking these questions so you can make budgets and map out your business model as a new agent. So in conclusion, if you want to get your real estate license in the state of Mississippi, it's definitely worth working towards. Now, it's going to be a lot of hard work up front, but just know if you work towards it every single day, there's a really high chance that you're going to be able to get your license, get into this new career, and make some really big things happen. So if you have questions about getting your license, definitely drop it in the description below. I would love to hear from you, and have an awesome night, and thanks for tuning in.